What's up? We're back with some strange, spooky, and paranormal TikToks. Let's get into it.
I'm currently being stalked and followed by a tree that is not a tree. And I know what that sounds like, but I do live in the Appalachian Mountains, so I feel like that explains itself, but we're gonna get into it. Because I kinda left you guys in a weird space last night with some of my updates, and I just needed to sit down and film everything and just put it all together. If you don't need or want a backstory, skip to this timestamp of what happened yesterday. But here's a little backstory. So this started a few weeks ago when I was vlogging, just like working on my family's farm, and we heard a strange noise, we being myself and my husband. So we tried to pretend we didn't, we were just filming our surroundings, we saw this weird tree, it clicked to me that it might not be a tree, and we left. Well, later on, I get a phone call from a relative saying, I remember you talking about that tree. It's not there. So I make that update, and then a lot of you guys here on the comments were like, please go see if that tree's there. And even before that update, I was getting asked to please go see if that tree was still there. So anyways, this morning, I go. And the tree's in fact gone. It's been a few weeks. The grass has grown really tall. There's like a full tree there now. Like a bush, not a tree. But that tree, quotes, it's more like a giant.
I know a lot of strange things happens in the Appalachian Mountains. Some of it I do believe, but a tree or a twig following you, I think you just need some sleep.
Creepy Real Photos That Keep Me Up at Night Part 41. This photo was sent to me by a viewer. They said, my mate tried taking a photo of me having a wee, and this one had a weird image between the old green doors. I don't know if he edited it or what, but he has no technology knowledge and only had his phone. This is pre-AI. Note this is in the middle of nowhere at an old derelict farm. We never entered that barn, it had fallen down. The builder avoided working after 4 p.m. for 3 months after seeing it. Follow for more creepy real photos.
Yeah, that's pretty creepy. Especially being out in the middle of nowhere working. I think it looks like a mask. Could be some weird lighting on just somebody's face. If that's Miss Doubtfire back there, hiding, making some cake or something. Either way, I get why this guy doesn't want you to stay around past 4 p.m. anymore.
Oh, quick! I begin to pass out. Then my head.
I can tell by the way this person is walking up, approaching this jump, that is not going to end well for them.
It hit the wall. Boom. But I had a praying grandmother.
I saw that coming. You're going to feel that for like a month. It looks like somebody's sleep paralysis demon. The makeup work is impressive. That would be a good monster to have in a haunted house in Halloween time. If you own or run a haunted house, there you go. There is your new monster to put in your attraction. I don't want to hear the La Boo Boo song again though. That was the first time I've heard it. I'm good on not hearing that again.
It attracts demons. I always tell women, if you're bleeding, maybe reschedule your investigation because you shouldn't be doing that. And I tell people not to eat meat 3 days beforehand, because if we are truly dealing with an inhuman spirit, they're going to attack you. They will, because they're going to smell the blood and they're going to take your energy.
So coming into this house, you could initially sit down over here in one of these couches and it feels normal, and then it's like a rogue wave of spiritual energy. The characteristics of the environment can just change out of nowhere. You'll be sitting there and you just feel this wave come into the room, and it starts to thicken, and you feel like this blood-curdling just vibe that like something's watching you, just an unsettling vibe to the point that you know that something's just wrong.
I mean, I guess I get what you're trying to say here, lady, but I haven't gone a full day without meat since I was probably a baby. If demons are showing up over a cheeseburger, that's just the risk I'm going to continue to take. Cheeseburger sounds pretty good now. You'll be fine. You know, eat a cheeseburger, steak, whatever, before you go on an investigation.
Did you know that in the Universal Studios in Beijing, China, the Jurassic World Adventure ride has the Indominus Rex and it chases you? The video at the end is terrifying. I could never go on this ride in a million years. You see how it has this track here and it actually chases you for like a full 30 seconds. This is what it looks like without skin. It's giving Five Nights at Isla Nublar. Also, when I went to Universal Studios in 2009 in Los Angeles, I got this adorable teddy bear, and he has a little Jurassic Park hat, and he's holding a velociraptor. Isn't this the cutest thing you've ever seen in your life? But yeah, this animatronic looks extremely realistic, really cool, terrifying. I love dark rides, but I would be terrified to see a massive animatronic chasing me. This is how big its head is in comparison to people. Hate it because of the megalophobia of it. How it works is that it has a different track than the people, you know, and it goes in a circle. Also, he doesn't have feet, so it's kind of goofy, but like with the lights on, it's not as scary. Watch this video and let me know what you're thinking, and would you go on this ride? Honestly, I probably would. I'd just be crying though.
The ride looks pretty wild. I don't think I'll ever make it to Beijing. It'd be cool to experience this ride though. I don't really get scared from animatronics. I kind of just, my brain's like, nah, it's just a machine. I get how people get scared from them though. Maybe I am scared of animatronics. What the hell is this? Where is this? It's like straight out of a nightmare. That's exactly how I look in the morning. Just existing.
But I just stopped at an old house in the middle of nowhere in Pennsylvania, and I picked up this magical wizard talking board from Marketplace. Dan told me it belonged to his parents in the 40s, so it's about 80 years old, but he didn't show me until I got there that someone at some point tried to set it on fire. He told me that when they were kids, they had some creepy experiences and stuff came through with it. If you look at the back, there are some cut marks, and it says, "We suggest that you use the wizard board for entertainment only and not to take it seriously. Should you fail to get satisfactory results, it is at no time the fault of the board. You have merely failed to get into the proper spirit. Be patient. Give it time to warm up." And he started to tell me about how his house was haunted and used in the Underground Railroad. He also told me at some point that his dog was hit by a car, and while he was walking around his house after the dog was hit, he heard a man's voice say, "Who is that?" And he ran out of the house because he was so scared. So it's kind of interesting. His mom recently passed away, and he was finally letting go of his parents' talking board from the 40s. I'm also on my way to North Carolina, so I'm driving like 12 hours with this thing in my car.
The magical wizard talking board. That looks cool. I like to have it. You got the scratch marks and the burn mark on it. Looks like somebody tried to get rid of it for sure. I mean, didn't Ouija boards start coming out around the 1890s, and it was just marketed as a parlor game, not a gateway to demons? That came later. I'm going to have to look up the magical wizard talking board. Hey, look at it like a business opportunity. Start renting it out to paranormal teams on the weekends. Little demon woman, big profit. That's pretty well done skit though. Whoa.
Okay, similar story to my last clip. I was live on my Twitch stream from the South Pittsburgh Hospital doing a paranormal investigation overnight. My guests went back to the safety hotel, and I was left alone in this entire hospital exploring. All the doors are locked. We have security actively watching the motion cameras to make sure nobody's sneaking around, whatever. But my stream ended up catching this clip.
Back up.
Now we know the only people in the building were me and the security guards locked on the opposite wing on the other side of the hospital. And we have footage of where they are at the time, and we have no idea who or what this could have been. So, I'm in this massive hospital alone. I have security on site, we have cameras set up for motion, but while I was alone in this hospital, I started hearing these knocks.
I wanted to...
And then they kept happening. There's nobody here. And they got so loud, the security called down to me to ask if I was slamming doors or like breaking stuff. I still to this day have no idea what it was. Motion cameras didn't pick up anybody on any floor or any entry or exit, and it's just me alone with these knocks. So, what do you think?
Yeah, that shadow figure was pretty wild. I hadn't seen this video yet, but we didn't catch anything like this, the shadow figure or the loud knocking. But I know in that hallway where he heard the knocking, we heard some stuff as well. I think they heard it when I was in there doing an Estes method. I'd be hearing some crazy stuff through the speakers doing the Estes method. That damn mannequin with the nurse outfit, you forget she's there. She's like right there as soon as you go in to the main entrance to the left. But walking through there at night, you forget she's over there, and it makes you like do a side glance, maybe do a side glance like 2 or 3 times that night. Something feels off about this place, but I highly recommend going there if you're into the paranormal.
Noticed a hidden door behind the kitchen counter in a rented house in Texas, so they immediately decided to open it and check what was behind it. And right after opening the door, they could smell a thick stench coming from below, like something had been rotting down there for a long time. And that's when things started getting weird, because none of the doors in the house had locks, and the owner never gave them any keys. So they called him to ask what's up with this hidden door and what is down there, but he didn't answer. So an hour later, they came back with the entire group of girls that participated in that trip, all ready to explore whatever had been beneath them this whole time. And while going downstairs, they noticed strange drawings covering the walls, and they could barely handle the smell that kept getting worse the deeper they went. So they came back up for a moment, strange drawings covering the wall.
I mean, that kind of just looks like markings. I don't really see any weird drawings. Maybe markings where they was going to hang something up.
And they could barely handle the smell that kept getting worse the deeper they went. So they came back up for a moment to grab some items to defend themselves in case someone had been living down there. And the entire situation escalated when they
maybe get a better weapon besides a butter knife, though.
terrifying lying on the floor. Watch what happened.
Oh my goodness. What is that?
Yeah, that is strange. A mattress and a pan, just all alone in that one little concrete room down the steps. Creepy ass steps. Maybe it's a themed Airbnb, like a mystery or horror themed Airbnb or something like that. Forget Airbnbs, man. Just go to Holiday Inn. Just get a hotel. The Vampire Museum in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. I've never been to Pennsylvania, but this place is cool enough to almost make a trip just to go to there. I know there's some pretty cool haunted spots in Pennsylvania. 17th century stakes, haunted dolls, Ouija boards. That carriage looked pretty cool to me. Oh no, this is not going to end well. Oh no, he looks like a goblin. Not Shrek. What have you done to my boy? Oh man. This is turning into a big blob. Yeah. Just a big giant chocolate chip blob now. Probably still tastes pretty good. I mean, it looked pretty good before you put it in the oven. It was sculpted pretty well. I knew it wasn't going to end well. Somewhere the gingerbread man is watching this terrified.
Mark the gun dropped.
So I'm in the middle of Walmart right now, and tell me why there is charcoal in the middle of the baby section. What are we doing with the babies?
It's definitely a strange place to put the charcoal display right in the middle of the baby section. It's like, you know what these babies need? Brisket. All I'm hearing in my head is, I eat because I'm unhappy, and I'm unhappy because they eat. Fat bastard from Austin Powers. I'm gonna eat your baby.
So just a few days ago, there was a research vessel that pulled into a maintenance dock in Lake Erie, and it was found by maintenance workers that there was this bizarre, tarry black substance that was oozing out of the rudder shaft housing. They sampled some of it and sent it to researchers at the University of Minnesota Duluth, and it turns out that this black goo is actually a life form. What is this timeline? So this is a picture of some of the goo that was unexpectedly oozing out of this housing, and it is chock full of single-celled microorganisms. Now, the wild thing is when the University of Minnesota Duluth researchers tried to compare the DNA that they collected to global databases of DNA, they found nothing, meaning that this is currently an undiscovered microorganism. Brand new, we don't know about it. While they're currently being extensively studied, the microorganisms appear to thrive in this oxygen-free environment that is created by the oil that's used to grease up the actual rudder shaft itself. They may also be methane producers and part of a really complex ecosystem that may be partially responsible for the corrosion on certain ship parts. And because nerds aren't without a sense of humor, they have temporarily named this microorganism Shipgoo 001.
I definitely would have just thought that was oil, but apparently this black goo contains some new microorganisms. Sounds like I named it Shipgoo 001. It looks like a Venom. Peter Parker better watch out.
Talking about government hiding things. This one's creepy. There's this thing called Operation Often. It was within MK Ultra. It was hidden from the majority of government until 1975 to 77. The FBI director basically destroyed all evidence of MK Ultra. In December of 2024, they just released 1,200 documents. It gave more light to this thing called Operation Often. Operation Often was a joint U.S. Army and CIA project launched in the late 1960s. They went full in on hiring Satanists, witches, to study and see if they could weaponize the paranormal. This is not made up. These documents came out saying that they were doing this. There are even reports that this program had files on spiritual possessions, poltergeist activity, and demonic entities.
Bro.
This is the U.S. government saying, like, let's research this and see if we can weaponize it. This was at the height of the Cold War. They're just trying to figure out anything to weaponize.
They're looking at spirituality as like a science to be harnessed. Because they know it's real. People think black magic, witchcraft, all this stuff is baloney. But I'm like, if the government, they've been looking, now they're like, now we're going to conduct a study on it.
It just makes it that much creepier because the supernatural world is real. Demons are real. Our government was actively inviting that stuff in. It's just dark, you know? That's why we need Jesus.
Yeah, Operation Often was like one of the strangest offshoots to come from MK Ultra. Government basically teamed up with psychics, astrologers, even occultists to study the paranormal, demonology, possession, psychic warfare. It sounds straight up out of a movie script, but was actually funded by tax dollars. Yeah, they wanted to see if they could weaponize the paranormal. If it doesn't freak you out a little bit, it should. They was up to some crazy stuff. What do they think they could actually do? Maybe they got some paranormal weapons out here we don't know about.
So I was lucky enough to get a screener for the new Bambi The Reckoning movie. If you don't know, it's the 4th installment in the Twisted Childhood universe. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, the 2 movies, and the Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. Now I will admit I have not seen those because I didn't know how I felt about the Disney movies being turned into horror movies, even though I'm pretty much into anything being turned into a horror movie. I just felt like that would be kind of dumb, but this actually surprised me. I actually had so much fun.
Yeah, these movies are kind of bad. I kind of like the Disney horror movies though. I like bad horror movies. Ones you just don't have to take too serious. They're good to watch too.
So you have the mother and the son who are traveling. They're in like an Uber kind of thing. They're traveling to go see the dad, and they get in a really crazy wreck, and all of a sudden you've got this mutilated giant deer crushing the vehicle and trying to kill everyone. It is Bambi, and he is on a revenge rampage for the death of his mother. The entire movie is the mom and the son and the rest of their family trying to survive the night while also some drama with the dad happening. Obviously you can tell it's CGI, but I really kind of appreciate that in this case, because as an animal lover, I don't want to see real animals appear to be getting harmed. But you got Bambi, you got the freaking bunnies, which the bunny scenes are shocking and so good. I actually did like the CGI. I liked the gore a lot. The visuals are also so satisfying to me. It's very moody. It's a British movie and it's obviously set in a forest. I loved it. I highly recommend you watch it. There's twists, there's family drama, there's gore, there's literally everything. I'm actually surprised how much I enjoyed it, but it was the vibe for real. It comes out July 25th, but I think you can do an early screening tomorrow, the 24th. So yeah, definitely go check it out if you can.
Yeah, they're not great. They're entertaining to me though, in like a cheap popcorn way. I watched that Steamboat Willie. I forgot what the name of it is. Steamboat Willie movie. Yeah, that one was tough. Tough to watch. It felt like a Kevin Smith horror flick. I love Kev, but he's got some stinkers he's came out with these past few years. But there was some funny moments in it. Blu-ray Shepherd. He looks awesome. Straight up looks like a werewolf from a movie. Just out here howling in the streets, all majestic. I want a Blu-ray Shepherd now with a pet raven. Just go into my full forest wizard man era, I guess. Yep, that's the dream.
If you're ADHD or autistic, do you already know about this internalized echolalia, or am I just like this late to the game? Last night I was watching a video someone made and I'm like, wait, not everybody does this? Not everybody has song lyrics in their head or a conversation that's never gonna happen playing out? Something somebody said to me years ago that's just on loop. It's not even like a song I just heard. It'll be like the Land Before Time theme song, just up there while I'm trying to sleep, when I'm trying to get ready for bed. Or like a totally random song that I don't even want to have up there. Whip it good. And then there's the show quotes and movie quotes. Sometimes I swear I even have two things going on at least, like a song over here, up here, and a conversation up here. I don't know. I just thought everyone was like this.
I thought everyone had that voice in their head. So I guess some people don't. Is it just blank up there all day? That would be weird. I don't really go back to past conversations much in my head, but I definitely have random ass songs and talk to myself all day. But yeah, that would be strange to just have nothing going on up there.
Wonder how many vampires have been run over by people that just use their mirrors to back up their cars.
She's got a point. How many vampires have just been taken out by somebody backing up? There's probably been a whole vampire lineage taken out by a Subaru.
The Vikings knew how to manipulate reality through sound, and we're finally learning that they were right. They used Galdr, a special type of chanting. If you chant the right words with the right tone, reality shifts. Odin himself was said to have known 18 Galdrar, chants that could heal, control the elements, and even raise the dead. This stems from an even older Indo-European belief. Ancient India had Om and Nada Yoga, where the entire cosmos is vibration. Tibetan monks use chanting and singing bowls to alter consciousness. Modern science is catching up. Somatics shows how sound literally shapes matter. Quantum physics shows how at the smallest level, reality is vibration. Sound influences energy, and energy is reality. So maybe Galdr was an early understanding of how vibration and reality are connected. Spirituality is just foresight into what science will one day prove.
So apparently Vikings used something called Galdr, a type of chanting that was meant to influence reality. Not just singing, intentional sound spells tied to runes and meaning. They believed the vibration itself had power. Just imagine humming the right tone and changing somebody's fate. She had like a soothing voice. I feel calmer now. Are you a sound magic wizard Viking lady? That don't sound right. Are you a sound Are you a magic sound whiz? Are you a magic sound Viking?
You want
What the fuck are you talking about?
I was coming in here to steal some copper or something. Look at this, there's even a piece of wood in here that's been lifted up. And I think that's because somebody was... I just heard like a big noise. It was very faint. I don't think you guys heard it. But I definitely heard something. Listen. I hear footsteps. What the Somebody's coming. Hola?
No, don't start speaking in Spanish. It's gonna up the spook factor by like 90%.
Fucking thing scared the shit out of me. I swear to God, I just heard footsteps. Listen. What if there's somebody still down here? Oh, fuck, I'm fucking terrified right now.
I mean, those footsteps was pretty clear. Definitely sounded like footsteps. Or maybe somebody sawing on something. No, I'm gonna go with footsteps. Gotta watch out for them cracked out copper stealing ghosts, bro. Second to actually catching a spirit or ghost on camera visually, I think second to that is hearing footsteps like that. You suddenly hearing running coming up towards you on the steps. Be pretty freaky, but be a cool experience. Even if you had it on camera, people still wouldn't believe you. It'd be like me on here.
What do you mean Annabelle the doll was in the room with him when he died?
And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
This was 3 years ago when he first moved Annabelle, okay? And when he did this, they sprayed his hands down with holy water. He even had to put gloves on because the holy water wasn't enough to protect him from Annabelle. This is Ed, this is Lorraine. They told people, do not touch the doll, don't move her.
First off, all the thoughts go to Dan Rivera and his friends and family. Respect to Dan. He was a father, a veteran, someone who seemed like he truly loved the paranormal community, and he passed away doing something he was passionate about. This rumor going around that Annabelle was in the room with him when he passed away isn't true though. The internet, man. The coroner confirmed she wasn't in the hotel room. I think others have said that this wasn't true as well. That was close to Dan. There was no signs of anything suspicious. Just a tragic, unexpected loss. I mean, still, maybe I'm taking Annabelle too lightly. People are never going to let this man rest in peace, probably. You already know some movie exec is sitting there in the office conjuring up the Conjuring spinoff of this story. Just sad, man. All right, that's going to do it for this one. Hopefully, I'll be back sooner for the next. But until the next one, peace out.
Lefu, lefu, lefu.